Okay, this is the last movie I'm watching today. Previously, I recorded a review for Sweet Movie, and now the pause menu has just watched August Underground. Not the whole trilogy. There's 3 movies. You can do these. There's 3 movies in this series. But I just watched the first one. I was battling myself whether to watch all 3 of them and then do a review, but they're 3 different movies, so might as well review each one specifically, or individually, whatever. August Underground is one of what is said to be one of the most realistic simulated snuff films ever made into a film. The film lasts for about an hour and 11 minutes. And it follows 2 guys. One, you never see the face. He is the camera guy. Technically, he is you. You are the character in the film. The other person is the killer, the serial killer. Now, this movie isn't shy at all. It doesn't pull any punches. Within the first 5 minutes, you're going to know what this movie's about. Within the first 5 minutes, you are going to be walking down into the killer's dungeon, into their lair, and there they have a woman tied up to a chair who has been tortured, mutilated, degraded, and left to starve to death, be humiliated, and is sitting in her own feces. I know that's a little bit direct, but I've watched enough of these movies and done enough of these reviews to be able to just be blunt to you, if you've watched all of them with me. This movie, I think, should be number 2 on my list, right underneath Serbian film. The violence is one thing. I mean, the gore is really nicely done. I mean, saying that it's one of the most realistic simulated snuff films is an accurate statement. I mean, they either did a perfect job of casting someone without a leg in the scene where the dude's hanging by his other leg and having the other one chopped off. That one was really good. All of the other scenes are really well done and shot. The thing is, though, I warn everybody that watches my reviews when I'm talking about a movie, if it's a found footage movie. This is not, I mean, it's technically could be considered a found footage movie, but it's a handheld cam, and there's a lot of moving around, so if you get motion sick really easily, it'll be hard to watch this movie. If you got sick watching VHS or the Blair Witch Project or, stuff like that, then yeah, this movie might be hard to watch. I think that's the least of your worries if you're watching this movie, is the camera is too jittery, I can't watch it. No, the blatant acts of violence and degradation and humiliation and all these other Asian words, mutilation. And the creepy thing about this movie, it's not the excessive violence to slaves, that they have. It's not the blood and the nudity that is constant in this movie. The disturbing thing is the underlying character mold that you have. I don't know if a lot of people got this meaning when they watched this movie, but the scary thing, the most frightening thing about this movie is that the killers are normal. Completely normal. This shows how serial killers act. I mean, there's a lot of other examples of serial killers that are completely normal, that live day-to-day lives. They pay their taxes, they vote, they never get a speeding ticket, they are at their job every day on time, they're nice, they're generous. But when they kill people, they are cold and callous. They are unmerciful. They give no breaks at all. And they don't care. They have no emotion. They have this hole where a conscience should be. But the most disturbing thing about this movie is that how the characters in the movie that are the killers, that are doing these awful things, are laughing about it. There's a video of them going and doing normal things. They go to a concert and have fun. They go in a mosh pit. They get drunk. They joke around with each other. The scary thing is they can, what's the word? They can hide in plain sight. That's the scary thing. It's only when you learn that someone's a serial killer that you're like, oh, well, I should have known. This movie makes you scared of the people that live next to you. This movie makes you afraid of all the people that you think have this little clique inside them. You know, maybe they're mass murderers when they go home. Maybe they have someone in their basement or their attic. Can't talk. Been awake too long. But that's the scary thing about this movie. It's not how realistic the blood and gore looks, but that's a plus. It's not, that there's no plot. I mean, it's just a video. This is just a recording of someone killing people. This is for their own enjoyment. And that's, where the disturbing part comes in. But the frightening thing is that this could be anyone. I mean, this isn't a Michael Myers or a Jason we're talking about. This isn't a Leatherface or a, ghoul or goblin coming to take your soul. This is Jeffrey Dahmer. This is Ted Bundy. This is H.H. Holmes. Or, we don't know who Jack the Ripper was, but, he was a normal person who led a day-to-day life. He was either a doctor or a royal. There are people in this world that are more frightening than anything in film, in movies. And that's what's the scariest thing about this. There's 2 other movies in this series, and I'm probably going to review them, but heavy disclaimer for this movie. I should have done this at the beginning of the movie, but you're already watching this. Nudity and blood throughout the entire movie. There's language, there's excessive gore, there's mutilation, murder, heavy violence in this movie. So, if you don't like that sort of thing, then yeah. And if feces, fecal matter, and vomiting get you sick instead of, the heads being bashed in with a hammer, stay away from this movie. But this is probably the number 3 or number 2 on my list. Serbian film still takes number 1. That's the fucking king of the hill, most disturbing film. As of yet, as of now. I still have a lot more that I'm watching. So, if you have any comments, any movie suggestions that you think would go with the most disturbing, give me your opinion of what is mentally fucked up. And I'll watch it, or I'll tell you if I've already watched it, my opinion on it. And give me suggestions, because I want this to be a game with everybody, because I will eventually put together a culmination of most disturbing movies ever made. Thank you for watching, and remember, go to my website for video game and movie news and tech and science stuff, thepausemenu.weebly.com. Thank you for watching.